Hello, fellow Amazonians. This is David from One Apollo with another Seller Forum discussion. Today we have a post from, seller and a bunch of letters and texts. Amazon seller sells on a loss due to Amazon's high fees. How could anyone possibly make a profit off this platform with all these fees designed to financially eat into the seller's profit from every direction? I'm losing and slaving away working for Amazon while they profit off of me. I lose $3 of profit. Try to make sense of this. They wipe you out with long-term storage fees and take 42% of themselves, Amazon selling fees, not even including the advertising costs and the monthly $40. That's the reason why they're a trillion-dollar company. They also lost 100 units of my products and are asking me to send documents from my manufacturer, even though it's proven in their own system that they lost my units. But now they're asking me to get something just to give me a runaround. And I think this is a common issue with a lot of clients that we deal with, where they are new to Amazon, and they're not really business people. They're just normal everyday working people just trying to have a side hustle, and they don't understand how there's so many different fees on Amazon. And if you don't keep track of that, and you don't keep track of your margins, then you will lose money. And it's very, very, very common, and I've seen this across multiple accounts, many accounts, that these people are losing money because they just don't keep track of their margins. And there are a lot of different fees and costs and consideration when you try and track your profit margins. And I'll show you a list of what we generally go off of, or I just made a little Excel sheet just give you a reference point of the different facets of fees on selling on Amazon. Apologies, I'm being a little pixelated, but so RRP is the recommended retail price. That's your selling price. And then the second one, everything below is deductions. So referral fees, that's your platform fee. So the 15%, usually 15% Amazon charges on each sale. So that's about $15 for $99.95. Then you have your FBA fulfillment fee, which you can find in your Seller Central under the catalog, and you can find your FBA fulfillment fee in your listing catalog section dashboard. So for this specific item we're looking at is $10.19 per unit sold for FBA fulfillment. And then we look at the storage costs, and you can calculate that in your revenue calculator. You can just punch in your ASIN, and it'll give you your storage fees and also your FBA fulfillment fees too. I guess you can go there for all your information as well. And we usually plan our inventory to stay in Amazon FBA for 3 months tops. That's our usual turnaround. That's our cover. So we calculate 3 months at we take the bottom line, the worst case scenario. So let's say a unit goes in there. Usually, assuming you sell about 50% the first month, 33% the second month, and then the balance 17% the third month. But we're going to assume that every single unit is sold after 3 months. It's an absolute worst case scenario. So 372. And here's our variable costs. So we did 20% in this calculations because we want to allocate 5% to sponsored products, and then we want to allocate 5% to returns and damages or units lost in FBA, and then a 10% buffer for miscellaneous and also account management. Like, for example, you have miscellaneous costs that you may be unforeseen that you need to amortize over all your sales, or you have our management fees of One Apollo. That's another percentage that we take. So we had 20% in there that covers everything. And then we have our inbound costs. So for this specific product, we import from China, and we do Amazon Global Logistics, about $12 per unit. And at the end, we net about $54.05. So that's our take home, our gross revenue after all fees and miscellaneous costs from Amazon. That's what we get back in our calculation, $54 from Amazon per unit. And we have a minimum remit. It's sort of a term we use, like how much we want back at our bottom line return for this specific unit is. So our minimum remittance amount for this SKU is $50.15. So as you can see here, we're netting about $4 more than our min remit. So for us, this price point works, and our margins are covered, and we're ready to go ahead with launching this product onto Amazon, or making sure that our price points does cover all our costs. So this is the considerations you should have when you're trying to calculate your profit margins on Amazon. So if you found this video helpful, please subscribe and leave a thumbs up. It takes very little effort from you, and it makes a massive impact on how YouTube ranks my content. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.